studio, kitchen and laundry. So to get that new appliance you want and keep more money in your pocket, just snaffle it and strut like nobody's watching.
I was born with half an arm. It is not a sob story. I've never ever made it a limitation.
14 Aussies.
21 years ago, I was blowing up in the Bali bombings.
$1 million.
I'm about to lose my farm to the banks.
Getting to the summit is your goal. I've played Survivor. The work you put in, the suffering you go through. Survivor's got nothing on this. The new Summit. Soon on 9.
大 GA.
So, expanding the warehouse.
Yeah, stock is moving.
Your numbers are looking good.
If decisions feel wild, our business experts can help you wrangle them.
Let's do it.
NAB. More than money.
People always tell us how much the dentures have improved their quality of life. And they're always surprised at the affordability, and they often wish that they'd done it sooner. We love building confident smiles, helping build confidence too.
It's time for a new era of over 50s living. With low-maintenance homes and a new clubhouse opening in early 2024. Live a luxurious life at Time Lifestyle Resort, Evans Head.
Hi everyone, welcome to Summerland Antiques and Garden Centre, one of the largest antique shops in Australia. We've been dealing in antiques and collectibles since 1971. Come for a walk through our magnificent garden centre. Our huge range of antique furniture bought locally and overseas. Most of our jewellery is new. We also make jewellery to order at exceptionally good prices. See you here soon.
You'll find it here at Summerland Antiques. Thursday night footy doesn't get any bigger than this. Roosters Store, live and free on 9 and 9 now. This program brought to you by Harvey Norman. Shop in store or at hn.com.au. Grand finale is here. You'll be pitching live to hundreds.
$500,000 is up for grabs. No pressure.
They'll pitch for their lives.
A naturally brewed, authentic kombucha.
Most efficient hangover relief beverage.
Who will be
The opportunities are endless for Indigenous products.
Australia's first food stars?
What a journey, come on.
The Food Stars Grand Finale, Wednesday 7:30 on 9.
Night, the first painful steps in the healing process as people remember and reflect at Westfield Bondi.
An alleged rioter in court over Sydney's church chaos, while the bishop who was stabbed calls for calm.
Australians among the dozens arrested in an international cybercrime bust.
A man arrested over the cocaine bricks washing up on New South Wales beaches.
And the Bulldogs determined to prove they've turned a corner when they take on the Knights.
This is NBN News with Gavin Morris and Natasha Beyersdorf.
Good evening. It's something that happens every day. Shopping centre doors sliding open. But today that was far from ordinary at Westfield Bondi Junction.
It became a place of horror last weekend, but now grieving community members have begun reclaiming the space to reflect and remember.
The pain of going back was never going to be easy.
Have admitted they're stretched for resources, calling in hundreds of specialist officers for a 10-day crime blitz. It comes after 2 businesses were broken into at Upper Coomera overnight.
Coles is closed, but detectives are scanning the aisles. The Upper Coomera supermarket broken into around 12:15 last night. Around the same time, about a kilometre away, this Ampol service station was also hit. The offenders forcing open the door, but getting away with nothing. Police believe both incidents are linked, but no arrests have been made.
With an effective cordon around an offence like that,
perhaps an offender would have been caught.
Police say part of the solution to curbing crime like this is a 10-day blitz, bringing around 40 extra specialist officers per day to the Gold Coast.
We are stretched. We've got a lot of priorities within the QPS. The commands have seen that is a situation where they can assist.
Operation Whiskey Legion, previously running in Ipswich and Logan, the numbers speaking for themselves.
429 arrests on about 895 charges.
The crackdown starting locally on Monday.
High visibility is the key. The public will see plenty of police out and about when they come to the Gold Coast, on the road, at the shopping centres, at the railway stations, at the tram stops.
It comes after the controversial decision to remove police beats from Pacific Fair and Robina Town Centre last year.
We've got the mobile police facilities. They're more agile. I think I've said it before, the 4 walls don't save lives.
Yasmin Bennell, NBN News.
18 protesters have been arrested following yesterday's protest at Wallam Estate in Brunswick Heads. Some locals locked themselves to a tractor while others climbed trees over concerns for wildlife. Clarence Property has approval to build 123 residential lots at Turritina Road. 13 people will now face Byron Bay Local Court on offences including trespass and resisting police in May. A further 5 received criminal infringement notices.
It's a favourite with locals and tourists alike, but soon Lighthouse Beach in Ballina could become more accessible to people with a disability. Newly announced upgrades have been welcomed, but one councillor says more must be done to break down barriers along the Shire's coastline.
Programs like those put on by the Disabled Surfers Association prove everyone can have fun in the waves. But getting down to the water can be a challenge around the northern rivers, including at Lighthouse Beach.
Council does have a Moby mat that has not been able to be utilised because of the coastal erosion.
Most people wouldn't realise that we don't have a single beach in the Ballina Shire or even in the northern rivers that is fully accessible for people with disabilities.
Ballina Shire Council has now received $400,000 from the New South Wales Government to make Lighthouse more friendly to people who struggle with mobility.
It'll be used to make the banks safe, put switchbacks in, and this will be an all-accessible ramp then for people to get down to the beach.
To be able to give those in the community unprecedented access to these areas will be a massive improvement to the quality of life.
The project, which Council says is shovel-ready, is expected to be completed next year. Ballina Shire is looking at improvements for Flat Rock, Shelley and Sharps Beach as well. But Councillor Kiri Dicker says work doesn't go far enough, putting forward a motion for greater disability access at 7 Mile 2, expected to be voted on next week.
You can use ramps, you can use beach matting, but it also takes into account accessible toilets, for example, accessible change rooms.
Locals currently have to travel up to an hour to visit the closest mobility-friendly beach, which, according to Accessible Beaches, is in Burleigh Heads in the Gold Coast.
I think it's very difficult for a lot of our rural communities that don't have access to public transport and don't have access to be able to make their way up to Burleigh.
For now, beach wheelchairs can be accessed for free across the region.
That feeling of the ocean on your skin and the sun in your face is something that everyone has the right to enjoy.
Andrew Dew, NBN News.
Clarence Landcare is calling the community to arm themselves with gloves, a bucket and a torch tomorrow night, looking to get the hop on cane toads in Maclean. The bust aims to curb the growing number of the pest after months of favourable breeding conditions.
Despite nearing the end of cane toad season, breeding events and sightings are not slowing up.
Possibly the worst it's been in, I'd say, about a decade.
Clarence Valley Landcare field officers still visiting several dams each day, collecting up to 20,000 tadpoles and more than 100 adults from one site.
There are properties that we're recently having access to for the first time, so the numbers are quite large. Like I said, we're getting 400 a night, and then the following week we'll get another 300.
Despite the alarming numbers, they say it is achievable to reduce the population. It starts with residents getting involved.
Community involvement is the number one thing that Landcare needs to support the ongoing cane toad controls, and that means access to private lands, access to dams.
Tomorrow night, Landcare is hosting one final cane toad bust in Maclean. The community encouraged to grab some gloves, a torch and a bucket and head to the sports centre from 5:30 p.m.
We're going to get some big numbers. I'm predicting in the 500, putting that out there in the 500 mark because we've been getting a lot in McLean.
Britt Ramsey, NBN News.
In some good news for parents with prams and wheelchair users, construction will start next week on a new footpath at Fern Street, Mullumbimby. The 200-metre stretch will connect to Station and Stewart Streets. The project, funded by the New South Wales Government, is expected to take 3 weeks to complete and aims to boost the town's accessibility.
After a warm one, storms have been rolling across the region this evening. Temperature-wise, though, we hit 25 to 27 degrees. 29 reached at Grafton today, so the warm weather is coming to an end for a while. Details soon.
You're watching NBN News. Still ahead, Australia's unemployment rate creeps up. What that might mean for interest rates.
Thousands told to flee and a tsunami warning issued after an Indonesian volcano erupts.
And a major change in Paris ahead of the Olympic Games.